Hello, guys. We are back again. We are going to start our event pretty soon, but I just want to tell you that I want to welcome you to Freshly Brewed Poems Facebook Live presentation of Creative Mondays. We are at the Transfer Ballroom Cozy Foyer, and right now we are waiting for the event to begin. But I just get to let you tell you a little bit about Freshly Brewed Poems and what's happening tonight. So Freshly Brewed Poems, we're going to start with a coffee company called Larry's Coffee. We soon switched over to Facebook pages to do most of our stuff. And then tonight what's happening is we have separate different events going on. We have the Freshly Brewed Poems in one room. We have Sips and Scripts in another. And we also have the comedy people. And we have people arriving as we speak. Help yourself. Walk on through or stay with us. So we are, find my place now. So make sure that you are on our Freshly Brewed page group. It's a private group where you can post your poems and feel safe. Also join our regular page too to make sure that you see all the events that are coming up. Our main focus are live events like this, so I'm excited to tell you about this one. So what we have here is 3 different disciplines. We have poetry, we have scripts, and we also have what I like to call the jokers up in the loft. And they'll be writing jokes and stuff like that. We've already finished our cocktail hour, so we're about to begin our events. We're going to go from 6 to 8. And after that, at 8 o'clock, we're going to have a variety show that's going to feature all the different people from the different events. So if you are anywhere within hearing distance, like, in Raleigh, come on down, and I am going to bring you in here, and we are going to get started. So I might have to have you look at an empty mic. Since this is open mic, we are going to look at an open mic, and we've got lots of friends here today. Yay! There's Sam. And there's everybody else. Yay! All right, I'm done. We are live. Woo.
Yes, I want to thank Princeton Football for allowing us to come here both times. I want to also thank our sponsors for giving us
My turn.
thank you so much for doing that for us. That's my first experience. You did great. I want to say that we are going
Did you sign up?
What's up?
Did you sign up?
Yeah.
Okay, good. And I told Will to come on in whenever he wanted to.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. All right.
Sipping scripts, is that what that is?
Sips and Scripts, yeah, they take a playwright comes in and brings a script and then finds people to do a read through to kind of see how it lands.
Nice.
Yeah. Hi, come on in. You're here for the freshly brewed poems. We got freshly brewed poems here, and we have Sips and Scripts in there. So
What's in there?
Sips and Scripts. And you're welcome to come back and forth. Are you a poet? An actor? Well, actually, at 8 o'clock, they're going to do a variety show. So if you don't have a spot, and you want to do it right here at 8 o'clock, and maybe you can do a monologue or something. So stick around after.
I'm going to be a listener tonight.
Well,
that's
yourself.
so awesome.
I'm Debbie.
Debbie, I'm Helen.
Helen, it's nice to meet you. We're doing poetry in here.
So is it just people dropping in like open
Pretty much, yeah. Do you do poetry?
And I do not, but am I welcome just to walk
Yes.
in and sit down
Yes.
anytime?
And there's supposed to be comedians upstairs. And over there, we have who's writing poems on the spot. So if you give him a word, he'll write the poem. So it's nice to meet you. Sam, Jan, oh my God. Sam, Jan, Chris, Joy, Cameron, Art. I know everybody's name. This is awesome.
But hopefully I can apply that and replicate it in here.
Do we want to start? Let's see what I got. Somebody asked me questions. I actually figured it out myself. Aren't you proud of me?
Yeah.
Or, yes.
You got it to work?
Yes, I got it to work. Yes. So, we are here at Freshly Brewed Poems. We have a beautiful group of people that I have seen consistently, and this is awesome. And I love that. I have my list. So if anybody wants to still come down, you're welcome to do that. Because we're here till 8 o'clock. And afterwards, at 8 o'clock, if you want to go on the main stage, just let us know. Put your name in a hat, or there might just be enough room. Because last time we did it, she just came along and tapped you on the shoulder and put you up on stage. So be prepared. Be prepared. But then there was a song groups. So you guys know. I don't have to go through the thing about who I am and stuff. I'm Debbie. This is Art. Got everybody. There's Joy, there's Roger, there's Sam, there's Shan, there's Chris, there's we did that already. Sorry, it wasn't Cameron and Dan. Oh my. Dan. So there's Dan, Cam. Okay, comedians are upstairs, by the way. We do have some jokers again up in the loft, supposedly writing jokes. So you guys are welcome to come and go as you want. You know, if you want to go outside, go out there and see Sips and Scripts, or if you want to go outside and see Raleigh, you're welcome. We've got a door open over there, so it's cool. And that is it. So we're going to do this, and then at 8 o'clock we're going to do a variety show. So stick around because that's a lot of fun to see everybody. So this is getting easier and easier. So shall we start?
Yeah.
Yes, I missed sign up.
You didn't sign up?
Well, I was late.
Then you'll be number. You want to go first?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it. All right.
The last jump.
I heard that.
I was going to go first, but I'll let you go first.
Testing 1, 2, test. All right. How many are we reading?
I'm thinking 5 minutes, kind of thing,
Okay. Well, I will read this first one.
Like three poems or something.
Yeah, I've got one really long one. So,
Okay.
yeah. I tried to make it shorter.
It's okay. We have lots.
How that goes. Lo, the hourglass is the name of this poem. Lo comes the day ere the hourglass lay benevolently down on its side. Mysterious seats reaching, entangled and seeking some meaning from the moss by the door, and the tunnel left open did tempt to grow forth twain, to pull them right in. I and my kin stir from our slumber, breathing smoke from our noses, blowing light umber. With yellow upon yellow light from yon fire, the glass it was burning, the sand it was turning into itself as it lied. The tide now ebbing, seeking its leaven from which it might rise, as the non-waving sea begat non-waving skies. Floating ships were now flying, as all standing stood dying, and children forgot how to cry. The dove lost loves, it rose from above, sending arrows with names calling fast to the new man not falling. Finding no heart to pierce from within, again we shall triumph, again we will win. Again, said soft with a tear. Vengeance mine, saith the fear, its loud growling fouling the day, the hour, the year. The three stood tall on their hill, the thief, the mocker, and he. We shall now see, said he from his tree, the word that made time rise again. As the ground crumbled, the egos were humbled, and spite sprang from the three, the id, the other, and me. 6 days from midnight was all that it took to falter and fall, so far from the book. Among hoofbeats was heard a dearth from the word. Silence seemed so sad to speak. No grace shall be found from high or from ground. Don't torment, don't bother. There's nowhere to look, nothing to say, nowhere to hide. Lo comes the day ere the hourglass lay benevolently down on its side.
Let's go.
And so I'll read the really long one. That was a short one. But so I did a reading. I was just telling some people the other day, and I got really nervous. And I was like, it was not great. And I was wondering, why is it that I felt so nervous and so tense when I was reading books? Is a new thing for me. reading poetry. I've written for a long time, and after I left, I really thought about it, and it was, I kind of came to the conclusion that we all wear faces, right? And we're all on the stage, we're players. And I think with poetry, I was trying to use words to hide behind while I was kind of trying to expose myself. So I realized, I was like, okay, I need to just really kind of dig in.
That was a good line. Yeah, headline. That was a good line.
I was really just to unhide myself. I'm working on an autobio book. So this one is called A Giant Hairy Nevus. The congenital nevus is a dark-colored, awful hairy patch of skin that is present at birth. It grows proportionally to the child. The congenital pigmented nevus is considered giant if by adulthood it is larger than 8 inches in diameter. The one in question was larger than that in the womb. It's a giant hairy nevus, I do declare, declared the doctor of the spirit reading my new parents on the day I was born. He was referring to the repugnant brown and hairy stain that marred me from the top of my right shoulder down and across my back, covering nearly its entirety, and wrapping around the right front of my waist to the top third of my right foot. Other than that, he's perfect. 10 fingers, 10 toes. As the 2 digits times 5 begat perfection. Other than that. And other than pyloric stenosis would return me to Dread Hospital to the surgical floor. Soon after, the less than triumphant parents bore me away to the house with no heat, at the end of the long dirt lane that had no name. Thus came to pass, after 3 near-death weeks of bouncing, hairy, nevus baby bliss, the first cold slide of the scalpel, that lingering kiss, the second scar, the visible addition, from sternum nearly to umbilical stump, a straight slice that for some reason was accompanied by 7 crude cross cuts to each side of the mane. The good Dr. Frankenstein wasn't one for aesthetics either. Other than that, he's perfect. Other than that. And other than the length of my small intestine, which had already decided to choke themselves in some sort of suicidal effort to be rid of me, one way or another. Looped intestines tightening into knots, staunching the blood show, impeding the proper progression of the poop. My infantile discussion with death was not without scatological levity. At less than 2 months old, I didn't converse directly with the surgeon. He quite simply began to remove from inside me a length of my guts equal to or greater than the length of my entire self, from head to toe. The external slice is actually cold and feels very smooth, as if you dropped a piece of ice down your shirt and it is melting its way rapidly across your belly. Then it sears white hot. The nerve endings know. They translate passing pain into forever thoughts. The bloody work on the inside, the cutting and pulling, feel more like what they are, a rough rearranging of your inner cosmos, a tug of war with your essence playing the part of the rope. Good as new, declares the victor, just a few stitches. Other than that, he's perfect. Other than that. And other than that and the scar that extends to the first one to below the belt line, other than the curse from the toddler's subconscious suicide attempt, as if God shouted karma, and because of its significantly shorter journey, your waste would flow freely where before it was blocked, to now end up often in your pants or dripping down your leg and onto the floor as you pretended it wasn't happening and prayed to karma that no one would notice the smell. But they did. They always did. The first grade team hadn't learned how to respond, but by year 2, they became a crew against the giant hairy nevus, me, little boy. Taking the lead from the leader, the tender teacher, Mrs. Whitfield, marching the nevus down the hall of open doors, with her rooms full of the snickering board, to the bathroom for the decontamination beating from the decontamination board. Behind the door to the boys' bathroom in Belhaven Elementary lurked a tight squeeze of the arm and the jerking down of the pants and the spread your legs. You nasty, filthy shit boy. Filthy, stinking shit fucker. Which faded to more disgust under her breath as the nevus stood face first against the concrete block wall, hairily and needlessly exposed as she raised her shirt and smeared and bruised with institutional paper towels They get browner when wet. We weren't always alone. Sometimes she'd make other kids watch. But other than that, practically perfect in every way.
And thank you, Sam, for going ahead and being first, because that's always the hard one. So I forgot to give you the housekeeping rules about turning cell phones off and where the bathrooms are, but, you know, y'all know that. What's that?
I think I signed my name on the wrong list.
No, I got you. Yeah. In fact, I was going to have you come up next. Yes, I am so happy to introduce Will Davis and Liz Will. If you notice outside that there's a typewriter, you give Will a word and he'll write you one on the spot. But I will allow him to kind of give us an introduction of himself. So thank you so much for coming out, really.
Can we all give a round of applause for the freshly brewed poetry event?
Yeah.
It's an honor to be here. I reached out last minute and asked if I could showcase my work. As my good friend mentioned, I'm a typewriter poet. I type poems on demand on my typewriter. You give me a word and I'll type a poem for you, like a custom poem. That's something that I won an award for in Grand Rapids at a show called Archives. Out of 3,000 artists, I won 5th place, which was really, really fun. I'm going to be in an art contest April 19th in Lake City, South Carolina. It's another contest with about 500 artists, and I'm really excited I get a chance to display my work again. So poetry has really taken me a bunch of places. So for those of you who are here, I really hope that you put your poetry in other spaces opposed to these local opportunities, because people want to hear you, I promise you. From somebody who travels and presents my work at other different places, I promise you, like, your work is important and your words are important and the thoughts that you have is so important. So let's make sure we share that. So we're done. You ready for the first poem? Say yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to do my signature poem that I'm going to read you to. It's my favorite poem in the whole world. I would never write a poem like more than this. I said, is it even possible? I know it seems logical, but sometimes I think it's an impossible obstacle to actually give thanks. To show how much you really appreciate the fact that God woke you up this day. To simply say thank you honestly doesn't seem like it's enough. The magnitude of my gratitude can even be compared to the measure of the world's longitude and latitude. If needed, I'd walk the distance from the earth to the moon as has been charted at 232,088 miles to express with every breath in my chest that God has given me the reasons to smile. That he has given me the opportunity to be here now. So I stand proud. The simple two-word sentence of thanking you in conjunction honestly seems so redundant, considering his ability to wake up everyone in the world, and he still remembers me. For giving me the eyes to see and the ability to reach inside of me and bring forth these ways that he gave me. He just keeps giving. I'm taking, and he's giving, and I'm taking. And it seems that all he ever wants me to say, all God ever really wants us to say is just, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So if you like that poem, I have that poem available in my book out there, and a couple other poems. It has 87 poems in the book, something I'm really proud of. Yes, and if you'd like to do the social media thing, you can follow me everywhere at Endless Will, and my website is endlesswill.com. So here's a new poem, and can we say new spit? 1, 2, 3.
New spit. New spit.
1, 2, 3. New spit, 1, 2, 3. So I'm a friend of old fashions. Anybody else like old fashions?
Yeah.
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 I love it. So I am a friend of old fashions. I'm not even gonna say fan, because I'm a friend of every bar I go to can get an old fashioned. So anything I drink, I love it so much. So I wrote a poem, an ode to old fashions. I am accepting and gaining so much more understanding each day that my art isn't old fashioned. A freshly peeled, ripe, just ripe orange, perfectly scented, rubbed patiently around my short glass because I've accepted that I am just enough. Flavorful hints of fire red, cherry of joy, and a dark desire of strong, slow sip keeps my effort, my poetry classics, just so classic and unable to be added to or even tainted by a moment's effort, loudness of unneeded taste, too sweet of Long Island rush. or Tito's often asked for with too much added up, and so easy to make like days nowadays repeated and picked up everywhere, included with lunch daily specials. Yeah, I'm just an old fashioned. Often making those unable to make uncomfortable because they can't find what's bitter, uneasy, and they question me. From something that's really easy to make sweet, just a little bit of bitter, like my black, broken, just enough from the sense of what is sliced out of me, my flavor, focus, those just pushed down to help settle me down. It's not that hard to make, I promise you, I am easy. I'm unrushed by the world, like days nowadays, yeah, I'm accepting. And I am no longer fighting with who I am. Yes, I'm just an old fashioned. I've got one more poem if you guys don't mind. So I wrote this poem. This is the first poem I wrote in 2023. I'm going through like a really different transition in my life. Things used to be so cool. I used to coach and train kids in basketball. I lived in a really nice house, and now I moved to Michigan. I live in Michigan now. I'm here just visiting, and it's just different. It's good to have things different that you don't ask for because it makes you grow a little bit. And I wrote this poem to just accepting new growth. I said, I dare you. I dare you to be dedicated to only you. Like your destination, don't be frustrated at those past bad decisions, those moments missed, and wishes that you beg for that you haven't earned yet. Just place respect on the things that you will get. I promise you will. That created greatness is waiting. Go take it. The gift in you, embrace it. What is patience when you have planned and placed so much pursuit on your purpose? I promise you, boy, you are powerful. Past times prove it. Moments when you thought you were useless and you couldn't do it, but you pushed through it and you stayed moving, incongruent to the chaos of any situation or state of mind mundane. You looked and kept climbing. You are undeniable towards any doubt pulling you down, and I am proud of you. And a peace deep in you is also so proud of you, which is why you move and think the way that you do. I promise you, boy, you are unique. You are different. You place distance from any present position. You are unstuck. You have depth in finding how your dreams are met. Look in the mirror and realize that you are that. You are like a map. I promise you, you are that. For all that you ask for, only you can give yourself that. Like asking yourself for something that you want and need, and one day the answer will be yes. Each day, William, you are at your best. When those lessons turn to lessons kept and are slept on to not do again, William, I'm proud of you. I just need you to be too.
Oh, wow.
I really appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for your time.
Yeah. If we may have a lot more time, so if everybody keep an extra poem in their pocket. So, yeah, that's great. So I'm going to thank you, Will. I am so honored that you're here.
You went in with that thing. I gotta get another.
So I'm gonna walk over here to the and section, right? It's Jan next. Yeah. This is Jan Dill. Everybody, thank you.
Can you see your camera in a little bit?
All right. I am up here following some pretty fabulous poets. So let's humble it down a little bit before let's take it down. Okay. So this actually, I wrote it as a little song, and I'm not going to sing it because I'm not that good a singer. But I wrote it as a little song 25 years ago. I was moving from San Francisco to Raleigh, and I needed to get on an airplane with my dog and my cat. So the dog went into a big crate, which I lined with soft stuff so he wouldn't bounce around and hurt himself. But the cat I had to fit into a 9-inch crate because she had to be able to fit underneath the seat in front of me. She's a 10-inch cat, which we'll see that in a minute. So in the course of getting ready for this and getting kind of geared up and ready for the big trip, I thought, oh, Lord mercy, this is going to be difficult. But I thought, I'm going to go for it. So I thought I would write myself a song that would help me carry on. Well, here it is. I'm flying out to Raleigh on United. I'm taking Max the dog and Fuzz the cat. I called our vet and said before I vote, we've got to have a little chat. I need drugs for Mag and drugs for me. The kitty can't take them, so you see, we gotta have drugs enough for everyone. I'm riding in a coach, frown on my face. I got a 10-inch cat and a 9-inch space. I wish I had drugs enough for everyone. Fuzz found her voice. People all around are holding their ears saying, what's that sound? Why didn't you bring enough drugs for everyone? While she meows, I eye the cart. I'm buying drinks for all, big and have a heart. I couldn't get enough drugs for everyone. The plane arrives, but circles round. The captain pleads, get us on the ground. We don't have enough drugs for everyone. Oh, we finally land. Oh, but the end is sad. It took so long, we all went mad. We really needed drugs for everyone.
Awesome. All right, so I have a little problem here. I was messing with it, so now all I am is looking at the wall. Does anybody know how to switch my cameras? That one right there. Awesome. There's Will. There's everybody. All right, we're good. Back. All right, it's empty mic. Oh, that's me. Okay. So I think the next one on the list is, I'm going to stick in the and section. I think it's Cam, right?
Oh, wait.
I think so, yes, ma'am.
All right. I think I have a number on this, so I'm just going to.
This is Cameron, yes.
Hi.
You're great. You're good.
I don't know if I'm going to forget it.
You're good.
I know.
Yes.
All right.
We're all friends, remember.
I know. I'm nervous.
Okay.
All right, so there's two different ones. I get they're related to it, yeah. And I hope oh my God. All right, so this one's called Cereal. Slurps of sugary milk, I hope that it rots your teeth. No pity for the girl who stumbled upon the cracks. You left me alone to breathe. There was no knock on my door. Silence has fallen upon the house, besides the sound of the cereal hitting their bowl and the clink of their spoon hitting their mouths. No time to console me, but plenty of time for a midnight snack, heavy breathing while you're eating, while I'm upheaving all the bags you left me to unpack. A little part of me thought I'd made you proud. I stood up for myself. I had something to say, and I said it loud. It wasn't my intention to place this mushroom cloud over the house, and I know I'm the hero, but I still can't help but feel like I let everyone down. There's tension in the air. I can tell by the way they stare that I do not belong. I'm unwanted, a disappointment. They were not pleased. I let out my siren song, and honestly, this all feels like some kind of sick joke. No, don't shoot the monster, but kill the one who lifted the cloak. I'm sorry I'm stronger than all of you, and I'm sorry I didn't just accept the abuse, and I'm sorry I spoke at full volume when you kept pressing mute, and I'm sorry that I think cereal is a breakfast food.
Woo!
Go ahead!
This one, I'm so sorry, this one's not get sad. Okay. So it's like delves deeper, I guess. This one's called War Hero. Holy shit, okay. Sorry.
Breathe, take a
I'm
breath.
laughing now, but like, am I gonna cry in a minute? I don't know. All right, I was the one to blow the horn that wrought the war that tore my family apart. I wasn't thanked for my bravery, instead was asked to take part in another battle that I was sure to lose, and the ones who I thought were on my side turned out to be traitors too. Yes, Dad, that means you. If someone refuses to flee and made the decision to bunk with the enemy, that means you can't make amends. I don't care if she's your mother. He stole my youth, and when confronted, she took his side and denied my truth, the one that killed me, to tell you, because I knew what it would do. I didn't want to wear the shiny armor. I didn't know the full truth. I could have never imagined it happened to my sister, too. I can't imagine what's happened to her. For 10 years, she never spoke a word. How weak am I? I have won battle and run for backup while she fought for years, head down with her mouth shut. And how weak are you to run to your mother's side when you had 2 daughters at home? Who tended to our cries? She threatened her life, and you have the audacity to call a truce. Call up the bombs and replied, if I don't follow along, then his mother's blood will fall upon my palms. I tried my best to make you proud. I kept my head down, and I shut my mouth. I'm sorry. I couldn't take it. I couldn't handle it anymore. I have my own daughter to fend for, and she will never know the pain he caused and how she denied it and how you took part, and she will never know what it's like to not be believed, and she will never know how your requests damaged me, and she will never She will never be asked to put her own feelings aside for the sake of saving someone else's pride, and will never feel responsible for someone wanting to take their own life. And to my sister, I'm sorry for writing these words down, and I'm sorry if there's a day I gathered the strength to say them out loud, and I'm sorry that happened to you. And I'm sorry you thought no one would have believed. I'm sorry for a lot of things, and I know you hate me, and you always will, and I can't say I blame you, but I love you still. The bond didn't grow over time as they suggested. There wasn't anything I could have done to win your affection. I know that now. You took bullets from me, an insufferable amount, and I'm sorry for how I reacted, yelling and lashing out. I accused you of robbing my childhood. If I could take back those words, I would. I just have so much anger that I kept locked inside, and I wish I could scream how it's his fault, not mine, and all that time you spent hating me. I was only a child. I let out the war cry that tore my family apart. When is it my time to cry? No longer your little sweetheart. I am stained. I am damaged. I am a hero. I am broken. I am destroyed. But I stood up to Nero, and I will feel bliss the day that he dies. Burn his body with his stupid suspenders and his stupid Levi's. He's not deserving of the dirt in the ground. Burn his stupid face so another stupid word can come out of his stupid fucking mouth. I'm sorry. I'm upset. I'm irrational, I'm angry, it's not fair, the atrocities that were committed and the police didn't do a single fucking thing. That's what I get for speaking up. What the fuck?
What the fuck? Okay. Oh my God. That was amazing. Oh, I'm so glad I met you, Cameron. Cameron, I met Cameron at Tongue Groove, and she said that was your first poetry reading.
Yeah, that was my second.
It was her second. Oh my God, I have chills from my top to my bottom. So, yes, keep at it. Absolutely. Wow. Chris, I should tell. Okay, Chris, and then I'm going to have you after that. I know.
Intermission.
Ah, yes.
Good job.
Good job.
Yeah.
And Chris. There you go, sweet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, my poetry tends to be a little bit shorter, and I feel pretty bad. I don't have it all memorized. After listening to that, I should work hard. You know, it's been a long winter, and we come into spring here. Everything is turning green. We have bugs flying around in the warm weather. The Irish call that a soft day with a little bit of rain. This poem kind of summarizes how I feel about that. There is no substitute for December. The gray of January, too glum. The hopeful twilight of November, too timid. The strangling figures of summer's heat, too close to February to be trusted. December is the cynosure, a place of quiet, a place of rest, a place where one is always welcome, a place where you can be, but it is not a place a home can be made. The darkness, too bright to stay. So, one of the types of poems that I love to do is what they call an ekphrasis poem, which is a poem written on a piece of art or a picture. And I always like that because I'm not doing a true. There you go, I got it. I'm good. Oh, well, since it went into my arm, I went to a different one. So, this is called different. It's different. No lilacs or wild rose to scent the night. It's different. Not pleasant, but strange. The moon, slung low to the east, lights a field of untidy bales of hay, wet in 18 hours from spoilage. It's different. Not agreeable, but fecund. Roadkill. It must be. A skunk. No, not strong enough to be skunk. It's got to be something else. Maybe it's the bottomland itself. Then wood smoke. Wood smoke in July. The air, barely freed from the bright heat of the day, tries to form mists, yearning to be fog. The smallest hint of cool, wrapped in the moist warmth of a southern night. It's different. Not welcome, but persistent. I let the velvety softness envelop first my fingers, and then my arm, and finally my entire side. I breathe deeply, taking in the living essence that she offers. So I'll do the other one, which I was trying to do earlier. So the picture that you need to keep in your head as I read this poem is a beautiful cardinal. And the cardinal is sitting on a dead tree in the winter with snow falling around it. And this poem was based on that picture. Oh, one thing first. If you ever see a cardinal without feathers, what color is it? It's black. Most people don't know that. So if you know that, it makes a little bit more sense. I saw you at Kevin's Frost Fair, dressed in black, with a red cashmere coat stolen from your grandmother's closet. A jaunty hat topped your head as you fought to open your blossom in the midst of the cold night air with that scared petty boy, a newfound wildness in your eyes, a bottle of Jack in your gloved hand as you looked for all the ways you could roar. I heard that you caused a stir, and Kevin threw you out in the snow. They laughed afterwards, practiced for their legal careers in the years to come, and left you passed out in the snow. We took you home, and from a safe distance made sure you were safe in the warmth of your home. I never saw you again. I had heard you died several years later on the shores of Lake Mendota. I also heard that you died trying to give your husband a boy after 4 failures. But I knew you were gone when I saw you, red coat over black dress, sitting in a hoary white theater, perched on a dormant throne, a resplendent wonder, still all these years later, roaring in absolute silence.
Made it a little hard for people to get in and out. I touched this, I'll mess it up. Thank you. All righty, guys. This has been great. It's nice to see everybody here. So next I want to introduce, thank you, Chris, by the way, thank you. Chris said he actually found it on Facebook, so let me know, how you found us. That's one nice thing. And also, if you have books to sell, be sure to let us know about that. And we'll make sure that we can push it forward and let people know about it, so it's awesome. But right now I want to introduce Dan Decker. Dan Decker has been instrumental in Freshly Brewed Poems. He's the one that came up with the name. So excited to tell him he has a new adventure he wants to tell you about. Right?
And now this.
Sorry, and I'm only 5'3", and everybody else is not.
I guess if you're doing a little commercial, I want to say, before I retired and moved to Raleigh, I used to be the producing artistic director of the Las Vegas Shakespeare Company. And in connection with that work, we did a lot of education, Shakespeare in the school, Shakespeare in the park, it was all over the place. We had it all. Well, I just recently made an agreement with the Burning Coal Theater Company here in Raleigh to offer some Shakespeare, and we're going to do workshops, and we're going to pump up their school program. And I just wanted to talk about it here a little bit. Hard to talk about Shakespeare a little bit because he's all around us. And Sam said all the world's the stage. So I'm sitting there, this book has William Shakespeare staring at us. He's the guy, he's the guy who, back in the day, they called him a scenic poet, which I like, a scenic poet, which is completely opposed to what we're doing here, which is we're not creating scenes out of our poetry, we're speaking from the heart. That's not what he did. He wrote scenes. And he wrote them in English, and he used English in a way that no one before or since has ever done. The workshops are going to be sonnets, soliloquies, and scenes. It's going to be May 26th and 27th. So if you're interested in that, I don't think Burning Coal has the page yet on their website because we just did this a couple days ago. But you can always write to Debbie or to me, Dan at dandecker.com. I bought my name. Anyway, I want to talk a little bit about sonnets. So I grabbed this book on the way out of the house. Sonnets. If you have the original, published in 1609, it's worth about $6 million. But I don't have that one, I have this one.
Oh, we have that one too. Maybe that's it.
Maybe that's the original.
Yeah.
The fun thing about the sonnets is nobody knows anything about them. So whoever talks about the sonnets is making stuff up. That's what I do. I make stuff up. So I read a library of books about this time period and this guy and what was going on, and carefully poring over 154 of these sonnets that he wrote. A sonnet is a 14-line poem written in iambic pentameter, as most Shakespeare was. If you're submitting poetry today to the lit mags, and they put out a call for entries and they'll ask for poetry, they'll often say no pentameter in the call, because this is old. They don't want this. They want what we do today. So all that having been said, it's really bear study. It's bear study to see the foundation that we all build on. Reading through these sonnets, I'd say 75% of them are Shakespeare bitching at someone. He was just a bitch, he just was never happy. He's writing a lot to this guy, this young man, who was the son of the woman I'm convinced Shakespeare was in love with, Lady Mary. And they didn't get along too well. I don't think Shakespeare, the guy he was writing all of these sonnets to, but people today want to say that it was a homosexual relationship and Shakespeare was writing love poems to young Henry, who was, I think, 7 years younger than him. Fine. That's not the way I see it. The way I see it is Shakespeare was writing these things to express his displeasure with one thing or another that Henry was doing. I'm going to read you one that I think really points it up in a fun way. Sonnet 116. Shakespeare says, and this sonnet is used as the, foundational definition of romance. People read it at weddings because it's so meaningful. Let me not to the marriage of true minds admit impediments. Love is not love, which alters when an alteration finds or bends with the remover to remove. Oh no, It's an ever-fixed mark that looks on tempests and is never shaken. It is the star to every wandering bark whose worth's unknown, although its height be taken. Love's not time's fool, though rosy lips and cheeks within his bending sickle's compass come. Love alters not with his brief hours and weeks, but bears it out even to the edge of doom. If this be error and upon me proved, I never wrote, nor no man ever loved.
Wow.
Awesome, right? What you can do with 14 lines. You know, when I get you into sonnet workshop, I'll show you how to break this down the way he constructed all of this stuff to make it work. But what I was thinking when I read this in context with a bunch of other ones was that Henry was off doing his own stuff, and he was ignoring Will a lot. Henry was an earl. Everybody wanted to have an earl for a friend. Earls were above the law. They were rich. They could do whatever they wanted. It was important to Will to keep Henry as a friend. And when Henry said to Will, you know, Will, I don't want you around anymore because, you know, things have changed, people change. I moved on. And when Will is talking about love, he's talking about courtly love, about, you know, friendship. You know, the way Iago loves Othello, as he says, you know, that kind of love. So I only imagine Will responding to that, to Henry saying, you know, Will, things have changed. To which Will would say, let me not to the marriage of true minds admit impediments. Love is not love which alters when an alteration finds or bends with the remove to remove. No! It is an ever-fixed mark that looks on tempest and is never shaken. It's the star to every wandering bark whose worth is unknown, although his sight be taken. Love's not time's fool, though rosy lips and cheeks within his bending sickle's compass come. Love alters not with brief hours and weeks, but bears it out even to the edge of doom. If this be error upon me proved, I never wrote, no man never loved. So with this kind of iambic pentameter, this kind of scenic poetry, it's open to interpretation, and you can, with the change of an inflection or a phrase, you can change the whole meaning of it.
Wow.
So anyway,
there you go.
If this is something you'd like to get more information on, get more involved in, sign up for the workshop, and I will take you through this chapter and verse, and we'll have a great time.
Yes.
Any questions?
No, I just got so much smarter. I just got so much smarter. I really appreciate it.
What do you say?
That was great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay, that looks like a problem. I'm gonna.
Are you gonna read a poem?
Roger will be next. Oh, Victoria? Sure. Oh,
I can go get that mic upstairs. We're not using it. The straight up and down mic.
oh, that's fine. This is good. I like these because then I don't.
It's still, no, are y'all taking it off the stage?
Have you Roger yet? My little intermission song.
Oh, you have an intermission first?
Yeah, no, so I'm just saying.
So sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine. You came at the right time. So yeah, so Roger's next. I think I might do mine next. Then Sarah, and then CK. Are you okay? And Art, I'd like to have you kind of bring up the here. So go ahead, take it. Have anybody else come in?
Okay, this first one is called Climate Grief. How will it look? The grizzly bear lumbering up north slope. The blue heron flying away at last. Trees standing naked on the ridge in summer. Leftovers from the repast of invasive pests. Homes moldy from an unending barrage of capricious torrents. Creeks with floods more angry and trickles more sullen. Deserts taking their revenge on incursions of hopeful fields. crops wilting, and a son now bereft of clemency. I did not see it clearly yet, but I feel it in my chest. Make it be a nightmare, though I fear waking to find myself disabused and alone with an anxiety that would not burn itself into a purity of anger. What kind of an ancestor am I? Is it too late to trade complacency for the relief of righteous struggle, or be forgiven the theft from children and those yet unborn? Are we left at last with a sadness that extends to that uncertain place beyond the grizzly's hill? Is this the unfulfilled grief that those indigenous knew of a seeping away of the life that holds mine and thine? If I could truly know that I am the earth and asked to be held so I could shake and cry, could I then face directly all that will die? So this next is an elegy for a friend of mine who died in the Twin Towers. It's called Remembering Kel in September. Hearing your name stopped me, pierced the busyness of forgetting, made me see the flames and smoke in a new way, as an awful curtain hiding your face and body. Made me see you in a new way too, and wonder, who did you think to call near the end? Who did you really love? And why did I not think to ask when you could answer? Better to imagine your face just before the blast, open, eager, smiling as you were usually. Better to hope that sweet consciousness was your last, that death crashing found you suddenly. I will dwell in that small solace of thought. Memories of your joy and kindness I'll cradle, shielding from thoughts of hot terror wrought, as long as I am able. This next one is called The Hurry Gaggle. Thousands sprawling, black specks chirp calling, massive movements up high, all across the gray fall sky. Lying on autumn-cooled ground, looking up at all above, around. I saw birds in a hurry a lot during boy time when I was not. Soon enough, life pulled me upright, better for the hurry on me to alight. First as a lure, then a pattern, hence a pull strong as birds' migratory sense. So long now in my own fast gaggle, chirping and calling in my own way, but now not even noticing that my sky has become gray. I realize that those are not all happy, so let me end on one that is more upbeat. Okay. A softer green. Mere seasons ago, clothed lusciously in forest green, the tree swayed lazily in the amorous arms of summer breeze. But the breeze turned cool, then cold. The tree's green gown faded to brown, stiffening with age before loosening its grip and dropping lifeless to the ground's floor. Now bereft of leaves, its gray bones unconcealed, the tree shivers in December wind, seemingly alone in the crowded forest. But the tree is not dying, merely taking the measure of its naked self, preparing to dance again in the spring, this time arrayed in a softer green.
Thank you, Roger.
Thank you.
Thank you. Roger's one of them came to the Larry's coffees and stuff like that, and we have a lot of people there from that. So I'm going to be presumptuous and put myself here, and then I'm going to ask, I think, Sarah. It's Sarah, then CK, and then probably Art. So that's our lineup. So this one's called Washes of Hues. Washes of hues confuse the binge of sound. Noises in the head scrape against the colors in the brain, the dim, maddening, deafening the need to think. Quiet little harbingers, quiet little aches of loss rise undulating in her mind, dancing, taunting, till she can't take it anymore. Constant affection, disaffection, in truth, blurs the hues that scrape the mind, that binge the brain in metronomes of sounds all around, all resound to drive her crazy. He did that. He made her crazy. He made her crazy so that one night she just flew. It wasn't a long flight, just a gesture to the wind, and she was gone. Metronome of maestros pounding in her brain, not right, not right. Take flight, take flight. The hues that can't ease, swirling water tones of pigment. She sees inside her eyes the pattern of his jacket. Buried tears, stained face, sepia yellows, gray blues, shadows begging for a palette knife. Sleep eludes, scrapes the brain, washes, tints to form the goneness of time on the tempered paper of her mind. That's a wonderful. Thank you.
Very well written.
Thank you. Cool. This one is like, oh my God, it's not me, but.
No, as you were sharing that, your head was very proud of that.
I am. And this one's called Jealousy Without the Green. We'll go to more of a love poem then. I'm jealous of the air you breathe, of the town that holds you and the aura that surrounds you. I'm jealous of the things you touch, the views you see, the objects that intrigue you. I envy the people that you meet, that see you smile, that fill your day. I'm jealous of the night that darkens, makes your shadows lengthen, your body tired. I'm jealous of the bed you sleep on, the sheets that wrap you, the spoon I can't be. I envy those that can touch you, be in your arm's reach, part of your night. I'm jealous of the distance between us, the miles that hinder us, the time that taunts us. I'm jealous of the sun, the stars, the moon, the wind. I'm jealous of the rain, the trees, the grass, the leaves. I'm jealous of the bricks, the stones and the pathways in your life. I'm jealous of all. I'm jealous of nothing. You breathe with me from afar. You touch me with your mind. You share with me your intrigues. Your bed is where you dream of me. Bring me inside your aura to your breath, your flesh that I crave, ignoring the town that surrounds, envious of our passion. Yet I'm jealous still of the azure breath that licks your skin, touches your face and traces your neck, jealous still of the ground that you hold you, carries you, supports you, as I will, when the world surrounding us is the same. And the last one is a fun one. It is about cardboard boxes. Cardboard boxes. I like cardboard boxes. I collect cardboard boxes. So this one's called A Good Box It Was. Cardboard remnants of lives, past lives, strewed in hallways of crowded sentiments, reluctant yet expectant of her own places to be found. She caresses the cellulose caskets of all the long ago purchases and emperor thumb downs it all. Except for maybe one. Maybe that one, because that one was still a really good box. How many of these deep boxes you guys are really good boxes? Yeah. All right. So enough of me. Enough about me. Let's talk about me. No. So, Sarah. Sarah was one of our featured poets when we were at Wake Forest. So I'm so happy she's come back. And you need a...
Yeah, I'm a bit tall.
You're a bit tall. I forgot how tall she was.
I thought that was a poet hat.
Reach the light.
Yes. Thank you so much, Freshly Brewed Poems, for having us here tonight so we can share our hearts with each other. Important. I'm going to read, I started a tradition of writing a poem to myself on my birthday every year. If you haven't done that yet, I highly recommend it. It's a nice gift to yourself. So this is my book, Reaching Light Together. It's a collection of my photography and poetry. It's basically my heart on paper, and it combines, my two art forms. So I'm going to read the first one from here is my birthday poem to myself from when I turned 30. In the future, right? I'm going to show you the picture. Okay. Of all the places I have been in 30 years, there are some that have woven through me, working their way into my movements, my being. Dry branches that splinter at my fingertips, burnt fields flowing through my tangled hair, brambles splaying through my body, connecting a network of joints and bones. Splinters of dust collected in my eyes, winter air caught in my lungs. Places that taught me to value stillness, places that taught me to persevere, places that taught me how to grow when growing seemed tedious. I've had to reach deep down inside and pull out all the weeds and dead leaves just so I could bloom. So that book's on Amazon, or I have copies. So.
Don't be just, yeah. We're here for all that.
Yeah. This is my birthday poem from this year.
Ooh. Where's your birthday from?
This is from January 10th. All right. This was the year under the cover of a dark black night I learned to exhale moonlight with shape-shifting lungs like lunar phases of emotion, illuminating walls and breaking them down, leaving me vulnerable but unbound, free to wander my mind's mysterious waters, letting myself waver and return in swelling waves. This was the year hung on the tip of my tongue, waiting to reclaim all I gave away when I was a fraction of the inner mosaic I was creating. Whispering static in my voice, casting from satellites, sending signals through my sleeping sky to wake me from the inside. This was the year I let curiosity rise, let it teach me to navigate by stars, slowly returning to safe harbor after years of being adrift and lost at sea. This was the year I honored me through listening, feeling vibrations in my body, humming, uncovering messages of memories. This was the year I stopped moving long enough to discover I'd been sculpting myself for many days, molding myself into a perfect me, when the true art is in realizing all the ways I'm already complete.
Yes.
This one, the last one I'll read. I've never performed before. I like to try and perform when I've never performed before. That's very vulnerable, but gotta do it.
Friends.
Who are you? Shape-shifting confusion, nothing I can hold onto, a stranger, familiar then changing, unrecognizable, pieces I want to hold onto, I saw me in you. You will never be all that you could have, dreams unrealized, wings folded tight, never released, life's pages left blank where there was a beautiful story meant to be written, hidden deep inside. Why won't you own the truth? Why did we meet in a lie? I wanted you to be a rising light I could follow into a star-filled night, watching you blazing bright. Trusting your words that were loosely fitted, a fragile foundation, I found myself crashing through, falling, desperately looking for my own wings. I traded to have you carry me carelessly. Now I learned to fashion my own, out of fragments of my being, reclaimed one by one, feathers of my own dreams strung together with makeshift courage. Estranged selves glowing in familiar light, burning my own way into the night, uncovering pages, picking up the pen to write, discovering me without you, unfurling from where our twisted lifelines got tangled. There's so much here, a whole world I never knew existed. Thank you.
I'm sitting here watching and I go, oh yeah, that's my job. I gotta get up. Oh yeah. I think CK, I think, let you come? Yeah, CK, I met here. She came to one of our freshly brewed poems when we were at Larry's, and here she is. Awesome. And then Art. Has anybody else come in since then?
Got Prince back there. He was in the rock. He thought the post was out.
Oh, okay. Okay, well.
I got you. I'll do it.
Awesome. Thanks, y'all. I'm CK. Did anybody else go to Dreamville this weekend? I went and my brain is mashed potatoes.
I'll remember you.
It was worth it. I'm going to do one that I feel like has been in my brain lately, even though it's kind of old. I did it last week. It's called Last October, and it is about watching somebody get sober. I've been thinking a lot about last October, and I kind of hope you never get sober. You were showing up drunk, but you were showing up, and that's more than I can say for any other month. And in January, I'll wonder if you're going to do it dry every year. You'd say you were going to try. It was always preceded by nights in December that you couldn't remember, 10 missed calls, 4 a.m., swear to me it won't happen again. And in September, I read you that letter, and I begged you to get help, the closest to helpless I've ever really felt, but for some reason, by October, you started to remember why we even liked spending time together. And March was the first time I saw you get high. I watched you take my keys to the counter and make 2 neat lines. You grabbed my waist with your arms and you pulled me in close and you asked if I knew what you loved about me the most. And when I told you I didn't, you shook your head and you said, I don't try to control you like your friends' girlfriends did. Mm-hmm. And you encouraged me to reach out to my cousin in May and hear him out on what he had to say, that being family was more important than any fight we had before, and to hold a grudge against him was being immature. And having him over for dinner wasn't what I had in mind, but you regained access to the pills he had always been prescribed. And it took 2 minutes for you to take one after he left. I watched it travel down your neck and work through your chest, and we forgot about dinner and played video games for hours, and you took off my clothes and we got in the shower, and we stood in the path of the steaming hot water, and you looked in my eyes and you told me you wanted me to make you a father. And by that point, the clock on the stove was blinking 6 a.m., the night energy being broken by the sun coming in, and you were turning out pockets of the coats we had wore where you swore you put the other pills you bought the week before, and the closer you got to the end of your high, the more we fought. So even though I know it's a fucked up thought, I kind of hope you never get sober. Because now we're in another October, and I think a lot about the girl you'll love after me, how I truly hope she gets to experience you clean, mostly because I want to keep those good parts just for me. She'll be spared the drama and the constant fear. She'll never have to clean up next day beer. She'll get farmers markets and baby showers, and she won't be up wondering where you are at all hours. She'll get down by the grill, not worried about bills, you when you were sober. But she'll never feel love like I did in October.
Wow!
Yeah.
Yard or it's our Princeton, whichever one you want to do next. You want to go next?
Prince.
All right.
Seriously, because y'all want to be in the direction of.
I guess it's your turn. What's that? Well, he said he had to go to the bathroom.
Oh, okay.
He said he's going to the bathroom. For real. Wasn't a play on words.
So I am sober right now. I walk into the couples bar downtown, and the host goes, "How many?" "Just one." He said, "Plus one?" No, just one. "So party for you." That's right, party for me. With baristas, I try to be more specific, just one coffee. I mean, 12-ounce drip with a splash of cream, dark if you have it. I realize the word splash is subjective. I should have said drop. I should have said close to black or bitter. I never say what I mean these days, and they write my name wrong on the cup. Unless I say it's for art. I am meant to be misunderstood. If they can't understand the only demon mask on my face, it's facing the pandemics with a samurai spirit. Gets a laugh or raises an eyebrow or never lose a duel to a rainy day, I always say, when leaving my umbrella in the doorway because it looks like a sword. And if you were to cross paths with me on the sidewalk, you'd be greeted with a strained smile. And you would watch as I go into my social energy bag with swords up, clan, familiar faces as blessings. How you been? Oh, you know, just holding it down for the lone wolves. If you question the lupine ears on my winter hat, or swimming against the mainstream if you are thrown off by the purple octopus on my sneakers. And I drift down into the speakeasy I haunt with no small talk ammo left and a head nod up for that old-fashioned self-love. It's like an old flame. I keep coming back to it to stay warm. I explain prospector tip. Your drink order is your conviction. That's the one time you're heard. And my guy sometimes asks if I have a preferred spirit. Spirit of love, spirit of war, whatever I can get, really. I don't give myself enough flowers, so 4 roses single it is. Rolls off the tongue, as if my pickup line comes off too strong. I sit at the end of the bar with an open notebook, but I read the room. I spin the pen at my fingertips and drop it on purpose to test my invisibility, and to the woman who notices with eyes like sapphire lagoons, do you like poetry? I mean, it'd be cool if we had a word. Sometimes I get a number and no reply. Party of one? Nah. Party for me. But hey, you're invited. And if I've learned anything from being turned into a ghost time and again, it's that being seen is a privilege that Asian men rarely get. So I look myself slanted eye to slanted eye in the mirror, and I see that one is more than enough. And if I see you, I see you. Pen recognized sword is my favorite, but I've stopped explaining myself a long time ago. I say no more until the check comes. Peace and solitude for you. Party for me.
Thank you, Art. That is amazing as usual. So, I think we have one poet left. Awesome. Come introduce yourself. I have to pee too.
For real?
For real. But I'll be good. Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine.
My name's Princeton. I got a new poem. It's not really complete, but I kind of like the flow to it. Choose.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. This is your world. Your world. We're just living in it.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So I met this bad little thing. She got some bad friends too, but I met this bad little thing. But I don't really think we can be because she's always disturbing my peace. Like, she normally likes to hit my phone around 2 or 3, asking me about my mental and my insecurities, telling me things like, you're not crazy. And it's okay for you to overthink, especially about things that you can't control. Whenever you're having a bad time, you can just lay with me. So I'm like, word? So the other night she invites me over for a threesome. Man, I'm laid up in the queen bed next to 2 queens, one named Insomnia, the other one named Anxiety, and I'm really giving it to me. Ooh, because one knows how to keep me up all night, another one knows how to keep my blood rushing. I mean, she knows how to keep my mind going. I mean, she just knows how to do something. Ain't really giving it to me. Realizing she only hits me up whenever she's lonely, and that's consistent. So I try to block her. Now she got her friends DMing me. Now we're talking about something. What y'all doing? Y'all still talking?
You want to talk to me? Now realizing other friends are depression and trust issues. Now I got 4 different voices up in my head, and the only thoughts that I hear are none of my own. But I mean, I met this bad little shawty. She got some bad friends too, but I met this bad little shawty. But I don't really think that we can be because she's always disturbing my peace. Like, poem's incomplete, so I apologize.
Yeah, you got 5 minutes. Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
I'm definitely looking forward to being inspired by that.
Yeah.
Can I have some interaction from y'all? No. So come try that again, because I did not like that answer. Can I get some interaction from y'all if y'all don't mind?
Yeah.
I appreciate it. So I'm going to say, you on the mic. I need y'all to repeat back. What's your beef? That's cool.
What's your beef?
You on the mic.
What's your beef?
There you go. You on the mic.
What's your beef?
My beef is with writer's block, because the way she touches on my mind, she just messing up my creativity. See, you on the mic.
What's your beef?
My beef is with the impossible. Because how the hell you gonna tell me I can't do something? See, you on the mic.
What's your beef?
My beef is with depression. Because she an evil hoe. And I'm starting to realize every time she comes around, it's not just seasonal. See, now my beef is with love. Because love ain't nothing but another 4-letter word. Like, fuck that and shit. And lately, those were the 4 words I've been using to describe love. Man, fuck that shit. See, you on the mic.
What's your beef?
My beef is with people with flighty energy. Because my grandma always told me, either you going to be in this house or you going to be out this house. But you damn sure not going to be in and out this house. See, you on the mic.
What's your beef?
My beef is with my laziness and my inconsistency. Because as y'all can see, I'm too damn lazy to complete any poems and too damn inconsistent to complete anything. So I'm Prince.
Wow. I have no idea what time it is. It's just like.
So got time for another round.
Yeah, we do. Who wants to? Anybody? We'll just do. Yep. Will wants to share. I'm gonna take a clue from him, though.
I like those incomplete poems, man. That's
That's nice. That's awesome. That's awesome.
I got a bunch of those.
Are y'all enjoying yourself tonight? Say yeah.
Yeah.
Stop the freshly brewed when I say Princeton, y'all say
So I realized I was squeezing the nipple of my left breast. When you look like I'm just
Debbie Johnson.
oh, gee. When is this going to be over?
I never saw it on table measurements. Is it an inch?
Sometimes, most times, our thoughts are unable to have an understanding, so we are undecided and misunderstood, perplexed on a place to land, so decisions are left for doubt. That doubting makes us uncomfortable and so incomplete, and then we stay stuck, floating like lonely cloud alone as we think, how can one win when there is always someone there left to compete? Is getting trophied the piece that will complete our piece until we play again and then lose? Life is a forever battle. War we are in this living, this or that, give or give in, and with opinions so relevant, choice is often persuaded by our opponents, and at those moments, originality is often not praised, and our choice made is only by more hands raised in this majority vote wins world. Or it's a direct hit driven on our plan, pushed to hear Listen to that unfortunately placed, repeated, often told, no. Victims of majority votes not being blown our way. Again, how awkward is this life? This teaching we are taught, as value is placed on that with highest price to be bought, and biggest bidder, building of bank currency, keeping us in a current of currently being in a constant of trying to collect these coins, and then after, what's next? We are checked, in debt, of doubting that what we have is enough. Is it enough? What is enough? Our grasp forever so reaching, as what we grab is ungatherable, as our hands can only hold so much, our palm is plagued with so many holes, leaking being the unfortunate approach, a problematic lack leaving us reaching, trying to grab again, as seldom what we gather, what we are handed can be saved. It often escapes. It grows even, because we grow, and more so we grow apart, joined then unjoining, combined then unwinding, this unraveling of our rewards like being emptied of all of the things that we need. And then we speak to our friends, and they tell us that they are having a bad day too.
All right, you want to do, Dan? I'm gonna let Dan say something, and then get you. Who else? Art? Cool. You got some more? Okay, we'll just go. All right, I'm gonna let Dan talk, and then we're all gonna take another round. So, yeah.
I forgot something.
He forgot something.
When is Kirk's Day?
Oh, the 22nd and 23rd?
April 22nd and 23rd. They're doing a reading of all the sonnets online on the 22nd on a big Zoom meeting. And then on the 23rd, they're going to do it, the second half of the sonnets, at Burning Coal Theater.
Yes.
So it's a great opportunity for you to meet a bunch of people who are interested in this sort of thing and to get to read one of the sonnets. I don't know where he's at with assigning people, but he needs 154 people.
He still needed about 15 or 20.
Still needed another 15 or 20. So it's a very popular event. He does it every year on Shakespeare's birthday. April is National Poetry Month.
Yes.
Because
Shakespeare's birthday.
Will was born April 23rd.
Is this a call and response?
Yeah. So Debbie will sign you up for that. I'll volunteer Debbie for all of them. And you just jump on and you read a 14-line poem and you're done. And then you get to meet all these people. And then come to the theater the next day and we'll all be there in person and you get to hang out at the theater. I just want to also impart a meme I saw the other day, a great quote. If you want to be immortal, break a poet's heart.
Break? You want to be immortal?
You want to be immortal, break a poet's heart.
Yes, that's true.
As long as eyes can see and men can breathe, so long lives this, and this gives life to me.
Makes me melt. All right. All right, so we're going to go around again. So Sam was first. He was the brave one. Yeah, awesome. Because we have till about a little bit before 8 when we're going to go to the main stage. So anybody that wants to do something on the main stage, Prince, Art, Joy, everybody, let me know,
I always want to read sex poem up there.
Yeah. You did it last time. You did really good, yeah.
That's a good one for a diverse crowd. So.
Yeah. It's probably just like us.
This one is another in my
sure.
autobiographical journey. It's I never know when you're reading poems, you should really tell somebody kind of what they're about or not.
Or let them think, or try to figure it out. Yeah.
So I won't tell you what this is about, other than it's about a chair in the living room, which is the title. The chair in the living room is empty now, wherever it is. 40 years gone, at least, I'm sure. No longer there, but somewhere, I'm sure. In some more than ethereal form, still solid, I'm sure. I picture it now as it was then, his chair, before it was hers, full of big, solid, strong Grandfather Malcolm in the corner, smelling of the day, of fresh tobacco, picked and primed, and dust from the warehouse, coating the hands that lift me. His voice that vibrates through me as I sit on his knee and know I am loved and safe. From the wind blowing the river to whitecaps and from the dark outside, delivering sounds that live out there, out beyond the yellow light of the lamp, reflected in the window, warming with its casting glow. This is why they call it the living room, with its lamps and rugs, the brick hearth, its children playing on the carpet, their father sitting ankle on knee on the sofa end, as far away as he can be, wondering about something unspoken, itching to speak it. Thankfully, the chair contains it all, and the calm. This is the living room, safe from the scratching at the thin walls and that which rattles the windows. The kitchen feeds it with the sounds and smells of tea and frying fish fresh from the Pamlico when it was earlier serene, and glowing brown and gold sun slaps through the pier, clear to the bottom. Angles from child anglers crossing shadows of bamboo poles, tow hair, lines and bobbers, brothers, cousins, waiting for fish, waiting for cruel. Don't go into the boathouse with anyone, or alone. Don't ever get caught in there alone again. But you know you will. Grandmother sits non-vigilantly under the tree by the hammock, waiting until she cooks in the kitchen and cleans and prepares for the living room to spread around the table. He is at the head before it was removed and the table pushed against the wall, that space closed forever. Then the condensing back to the living room, fear, respect, wonder for the silent stoic, and love from the chair before he left it empty, before everything changed. Where is my mother? She's with the other.
Lost Jan. This and section is getting really smaller. Yeah. So, Cam, did you want to? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have any more memory.
No, that's all right. You know, I have 400 poems. I don't know how I can memorize.
I don't know. There's two different ones. Go with. I'm sorry. I didn't know.
No, we're all casual.
I guess this one, because this one.
We'll do poem roulette. Just pick one.
Okay. This is so I worked an event, and there was this guy there, and he was a man. He was so creepy to me the whole time. So, of course, as you do, I looked him up on Facebook afterwards, and he has a daughter with the same name as me, and they're the same age, so I was like, that's all I need to write this poem. And then it's just about, getting harassed in the work industry in general. Anyway. I found out I share the same name as your daughter. How did that not cross your mind? We have the same age, coming into the world at the same time. You said my purpose is to give others a smile. What a selfish purpose to assign. I'm not a cupcake on a dessert table. My kindness is not for you. It's for the sake of the comfortability of everyone else in the room. I show up, do my job, get paid. Work 10 times harder, get half your wage. You take your pitiful smolder somewhere else. You disgust me. You comment on my hair, complimenting its sheen, a sigh of relief when you find out I'm over 18. Send your male gaze in someone else's direction. I'm not some delicate trinket you can add to your collection. I'm a woman with a child of my own. Too many men try to rip out the roots I've grown. I know the way I walk into a room with kind eyes and a welcoming smile. Befriend, bewitch, beguile. But you can't handle how deep my words can go, my inner thoughts and feelings and all my disastrous woes, and you don't even deserve to know. You're a complete stranger, completely delusional. Look at me like baby in a manger, not knowing your limits and when not to speak. You mistaken my benevolence for me being weak. If you ask and I don't answer, don't ask me twice, or however many times it takes for me to fall into your trap like my fellow mice. I've only known you for a few hours. What a dramatic poem indeed. I can't help it. I feel like these types of guys are always presenting themselves to me, feeling like they're entitled to my attention, convincing themselves I'm craving their connection. God, I'm going to be sick. No, really, I'm not kidding. Grab my wrist and pull me down. You've got to be fucking kidding. Grab my ass. What were you thinking, you old-ass man? If I take your wife's order, vodka and cran, you should be thankful for the type of person I am. Fight, flight, or freeze, I should have ran, but I stayed still. With a smile on my face from a true performer, and this character cannot break. Lord knows what will come out when I do crack. All they ever ask is why my perpetrator didn't get smacked. or yelled at, or talked to, or simply sternly looked at. I don't know what to say. I was working at the time of the attack. Isn't that always the case? Thinking I'm going to lose my job if I move forward with my case. Cases, they stay lost in a system. I learned to be quiet, and I learned to mind my business. The lessons I learned hard in my core. I show no emotion, so you can't hurt me anymore. All the men roam wild and free, who all view me as prey, quiet and meek.
Oh. I love it. I love the notebook. I love it. I love it.
I sound funny.
Yeah. Cool. I think Chris is next. Yes.
Thank you for
So
inviting me.
yes.
Yeah, my kids are ready to leave. Yes.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much for inviting me.
Absolutely. Awesome. I hope you get hooked on all this. I hope you're enjoying all this.
Oh, I am.
Oh, sorry. My job.
Not a problem.
I failed at my job.
Being 6'1" can sometimes be a problem.
Yeah. Or
Okay.
when I need something off the shelf, if I need something off the shelf, I call you.
Okay. All right. Well, I've been hearing that some people are doing poems that they had done before, and I'm just curious, how many people are willing or read their poems more than once? I've never done the same poem twice. I could do that. I could just pull one up. I only have a few on my phone here. So, you want to hear new shit, or you want to hear old?
New shit.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever you want to do.
Okay.
It's your world. We're living in it, right?
All right. Well, this is a poem I wrote in a hospital bed last October.
Wow.
And gives it a little bit of context. I stood at the edge of the event horizon, watching the frenzied firefall of the end of all things, time frozen in their last moments of being, bits of the world in various stages of dissolution, old cribs, orange Dodge Challengers, Nixon for president buttons, let's go Mets. And I turn to walk away, and I see my world extend before me, all the things I have done, code still in alpha. The Harris Teeter down the street, the cashier I've seen almost daily for 7 years, cheerful, a bright ring in each Lone Star day. The children catching the bus to the new middle school just built with funds allocated years ago. The dark floaters in my eyes leaking like living shadows, eye worms in the larch of the northern outskirts of Kiev, unlucky insects caught in the pool's surface. I reach down to scoop them all out and lay them gently on the side of the warm green grass and watch them stretch their waterlogged bodies, crawl away through the grass, diapered toddlers who quickly join the line to get on the bus before it pulls away. And in the reflective glint of the bus's windows, I look behind me at the darkness of a world uncreated, where the light of the warm lover's moon and the high and lonesome moon shine together upon the night land behind me. Streaks of gray and purple in the sky, clouds illuminated moving across the sky. As the mother tree, its arms open, inviting, widespread. I turn to walk towards it. It is only then that I find I'm unable to. And then I realize the true nature of the event horizon and where it actually is.
I get so amazed by just the sound of words. It's just, I don't know if anybody else feels that, but just it could be the 2 glasses of wine. Yes. I think we have Roger's going to be next. Yes.
So the question was raised earlier about whether to say anything about the poem before you read it or say it. And usually I don't, but this time I think I need to say this concerns a man who carjacked me during the course of a bank robbery about 27 years ago.
Hmm.
It's called He Died That Day. As the police burst in, he ran from the room and took his own life with a gun, perhaps the same one he had pointed at me. I mourn the man who impacted me so dramatically. I wish he were still alive today, a fellow human being, born of a mother, once a baby who laughed and cried, grew up, and later died. But I want to know more. If I could, of him, I'd ask, our encounter changed me, but what about you? You brought death real close, gave me a clearer view. What were you thinking, feeling, when you held a gun to my back? And what sent you reeling during the years before that? Who believed in you and who did not? Who remembered your birthday and who forgot? When was it that you felt respected? To whom was it that you felt connected? Who was it whispered, I love you? And is that what you said too? Did you carry a picture in your mind of how your future would unwind? What surprised you, delighted, and inspired you? Where did it hurt the most? What was it that led to such strife in that last moment with gun in hand? What did you fear more than you loved life? If I could muster the courage to share that fear, and if you could, perhaps I too could see my way clear to team up with you and shine our lights, examine each of our fears from all sides, laugh or cry, and maybe then slowly release each one of them. This hope is a fantasy, one I cannot gainsay, because fear prevailed, and you died that day.
Gosh, thank you so much. So I'm going to indulge myself and read one, and then I think Joy, thank you next after that. So, and Art, and then CK, do you have another one? Yeah. So let's work with Joy, and then Princeton. Yes. No, not yet. All right, so this one is called He Said I Share. He said I shared the color of his mother's eyes and what I like to see. A photo, perhaps, from under his bed. A walk to the shelf for an album of dust, perhaps. No, the eye that was made for her, worn by the her that bore him, the Italian side of brown eyes, gone to hazel with age, the one lost in an accident, found and saved in her son's closet decades and eons later, following her demise. I declined. She actually wanted to show me the eye. Anyway, so I have Sarah. Yeah.
Sarah, Joy,
Sarah, I called you Joy, didn't I? Yeah, Joy. You bring me joy.
It's all good. Find my phone, but so my grandmother's name was Joy, and after she died, my middle name is Joy, and so I keep it in my name to honor her.
That's nice. Awesome.
Let me find this poem. I don't have them memorized yet. I've only ever memorized one poem in my entire life. I have no idea why.
You good?
I keep changing mine, so it's like.
Yeah, I guess that's the problem too. You would think like we know our own words that come from our heart.
Yeah. Somebody's staring at you, though. That's why you're talking them. So.
Mike's staring at you.
It's kind of like if you remember Lord of the Rings when what's her name is talking at the river when the horses are crossing. She looks up in total shock at what she's done. As a poet, you write it down and you read it later and you go, where did this come from? So, I agree. How do you memorize all this stuff?
they just do.
Let's see if I can remember the one I know. My thoughts are reeling, I'm feeling the sky within my eyes, forming liquid dreams in front of me out of moving traffic, the static between, the speed, the thrill, and the danger. I need something to shake me, take me to the place where the sky drops into the sea. Because we are not steering, we're nearing, we're hearing sirens in the distance. Resistance is stifling as I'm drifting out of view. I'm riffing and spinning the unwritten news, spinning days into night, flipping darkness with the light, trying to lift this thick haze from my mind set ablaze. My time's still alight, leaving stories to end with dashes, blinding memories with flashes, leaving stories to end with dashes, ashes to ashes, we all fall down, and this is the sound of revolution. Let's ban this time delusion, cause we're all fed mind pollution, and there are ways to slip through the day, the charters that look all the same, cause eventually we'll bow and fade into a sun that will bow and exit the stage, something like that.
Unfinished poems. We like unfinished poems, right? Who did I say was next? All right, let's get comfortable here. Let's shake it off. Just don't worry. I think, Art? No, CK. Yeah. Sorry about that. My notes a little bit. Awesome.
Right. I think this group is always really nice and rad and supportive, so I'm going to do one that I feel like you all have probably done this where you write one and you think it's going to be the one that people love and it's never that one, right? It's always the ones that you're like kind of unsure about. But this is one that I really like, and I am going to say what it's about. So I think I've talked to some of you about this, but I went to grad school to be a therapist, and I'm not a therapist. I decided not to practice, but I'm still really fascinated by some of the mental health concepts, and there's this thing called moral perfectionism, which it shows up in a lot of people with OCD, but in a lot of things where it's this idea of like really craving a clean slate, or like what makes me a good person or a bad person, or like was I in the wrong or was I not in the wrong. And so this is a poem about that, and it's called Basements because I was thinking about some things that happened in my own life that all took place in basements. All right, there's one thing we know for sure. I checked the data. There was always me, and there were always basements. And you told me after basements that I was never the same, but what happens when you go someplace just to come back changed? And I cried on that plane like a child who knew that other children often go too soon. And I told myself that no one should go through this, and then I walked into that basement alone and on purpose. And I read that letter addressed to me, as big of a martyr as I'll ever be, and I heard you up the stairs, I heard you at the top of the stairs putting forks into boxes, and 3 weeks later, that is when I lost it. Because we don't always feel the things we're supposed to feel on time, an arbitrary expectation of I'll be fine, and don't tell me that it wasn't my fault. I was the one who called the cops. And if it's not my fault, then tell me whose it is, and don't you ever say that it was his, because he didn't ask for this, and neither did I, and on the saddest day of my life, I almost watched him die. And on the second saddest, I held my breath and felt my eyes sink into their sockets, the keys to my car in the left pocket of your ripped jeans, and offer to be the means to my end, shoeboxes of Polaroids from when you were a kid. And I haven't worn my hair the same since that day. I don't like knowing that you liked it in braids, but who the hell was I to claim being afraid? No one made you go down there, I'll be reminded for years, and you know what? It's kind of fair. And I told myself that it was me, it wouldn't be her, but falling on a sword tends to slice up your liver, so I am sorry that I have been acting different. But the first basement came before we even met and before I knew we ever would. Exposed wood and concrete floors, man, I don't know if I can do basements anymore. The orangish-gray carpet in the model trains, the cables on pipes in the picture frames, the neatly placed envelopes in the washing machine, the spinny chair I like and an old Christmas tree, the place I signed my name under the paint, the rub-covered hard water stains, the weights you bought to get in shape, the tape on the window at least when it rains, but everybody wants that bonus space. And there was always me, but also there were basements, and whoever laid their cement pavement, and whoever decided there should be rooms underneath homes, and whoever said they were a scary place to go alone. And there are basements that I'll never see, so I'll contemplate mutual exclusivity, and you can be pushed downstairs, but also trip up them. Do basements ever feel shame or like giving up, or is that just me and the basements are more correlation than cause? I wouldn't want to blame basements for something that is my fault.
Aww. I love the fact that you think this is a safe space. That's really important. It's so cool. So love that. So I think I'm gonna do Art, yes, and then Prince.
Man, I gotta follow that.
I know.
I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, I'm gonna make it up as I go along. Check this out.
You got it, bro.
On rainy days down south, I look up poems set in Seattle, then look back at the rain set against the window. I like to imagine that the water was carried here from the shores of their misty bay, across Pike Place, through Belltown, in buckets used to carry Pacific salmon off fishing boats, or in lidded styrofoam cups used for clam chowder to go. I practiced walking through those rainy days, past the liquor store and the laundromat of a strip mall in South Florida. And when I stepped into the 24-hour glow of the gas station, I head straight for the coffee machine as my inner Seattleite kicks in, even-keeled in wet socks, unhurried as freeway traffic while it's piss pouring outside. And I renounce all the sugary accoutrements to have what he's having 3,000 miles northwest of here. Black coffee with a splash of rain. A balance perfected on slanted hill streets that breed more caffeinated poetry addicts like this than anywhere else in the country. New York City can have its deferred dreams of Harlem. San Francisco can have the moon to howl at from its gold bridge. I think I'll just have this rainy day and this coffee as the poem it is.
Thank you. My favorite is poem. Y'all think about whether or not you should repeat poems, but it's like listening to a song that you really like. That's the first poem that I heard from Art that just blew me away. Thank you.
Freshly brewed poem.
Freshly brewed. It was definitely a freshly brewed poem. Absolutely. Prince. Let's see. And then we'll head out and see what everybody else is doing then. Yeah. Awesome. And you are a no microphone. Don't let you trip, dear.
How you feeling?
Cool. You got it.
That second round, man.
Need to pee again? No. Sorry.
To the shorty that think I actually care about her SAT scores.
Nah.
But I do want to know what your brain can do. Like, maybe you can teach me a thing or two. Show me the reason why you think the way you do, or why you tilt your head to the side when you're slightly confused. Actually, scratch all of that. I want to know all your deepest, darkest secrets, even the things that you're scared to tell Jesus, Buddha, Allah, whoever you believe in. Actually, whose name do you call on when you give gratitude and grief? And what are the reasons you think? What are the reasons that? What are the reasons that you think you're breathing? And I don't mean for living. I mean, like, what's your passions, your life goals, your things you see when you're dreaming? Yeah, girl, them fine. 80s calling. And born me, but that ain't the reason why I'm fiending, because there'll be plenty of nights for us to be kissing, hugging, scratching, fighting, screaming. But that's just freaking me speaking. It's really your mental, what I'm saying. It's the way you talk to me, how you treat me, things like that. I'm saying, because that's what's going to keep me. Honestly.
That's amazing. So this comes to the conclusion. This is where I'm more comfortable. Of tonight's thing, Freshly Brewed Poems. We are awesome here. Yay! So if you guys want to stick around to 8 o'clock, well, it's 8 o'clock right now. Let's go out there in the main ballroom and see what's happening. We're gonna, if you want to do your stuff, start your stuff on the main stage, please let me know, and we will do it. Okay, we need like a music or something, so fade myself out. I'll just go, meow, like meow. All right, guys, it's good to see y'all. Now I have to figure out how to turn this thing off. Bye.